Hey folks, in this video, I'm going to show you 3 basic barbecue rubs that you can make at home to keep on hand that will cover anything that you want to cook. So I'll be using 10 different ingredients to make up these 3 rubs, and I'm going to show you each one of these. This first one is coarse ground black pepper. You know already probably what the flavor profile of that is. It's got a little bit of heat. I consider it to be a bold flavor, and I did use the coarse in this rub, and that's what I prefer to use. So if you've got coarse ground black pepper or can grind it yourself, that would be best in rubs. This next one is kosher salt, and the reason I'm using kosher salt is for the same reason. It's actually a coarser salt, and that just goes better in rubs. These next 2 here are onion and garlic. Now I want to make a point about these. If you can use granulated, that's the best, but if not, you can use garlic powder and onion powder. One of the differences is that the powder will cake up on you a little bit sometimes, but they will work. It's just that granulated is better. The onion will give it sort of a sharp flavor, and then garlic adds a savory note to it. These next 2 are chili powder and cumin, and the chili powder has sort of like a Tex-Mex flavor to it. I consider it sort of mild, if not a little on the bold side. A little bit of spiciness, earthiness, as well as the cumin. And I don't use a lot of cumin in my rubs, but that is sort of a earthy, almost smoky flavor. The best way I know how to describe it. These next 2, this is brown sugar. This is actually dark brown sugar. You can use either one, dark or light. The dark will have more of a molasses type flavor to it. And this is red pepper, and this is actually homemade. You can just buy cayenne pepper at the store, but a friend of mine grows them, and he makes this every year and gives me some of it, and I like to use it. Then these last 2, this is paprika. Paprika's not going to really add a lot of flavor to it. It does have a little bit of I guess sort of an earthy flavor, but the main thing that this will do is give it some nice color. And that's going to be, especially if you're cooking ribs and stuff, sometimes you want them to look nice. So the paprika will really add to the color. This last one is dry mustard. And this one has got a little bit of I'm going to call it a tangy flavor to it. A little sharpness. It's something that's a little different. A lot of people don't use it, but for years I have used dry mustard in rubs and some different things. So if you haven't tried that one and you want to try to make some rub, you really need to throw that in there and see. I think you really can distinguish when it's in there, and it's a good flavor. This last thing I'm not going to be using today, but I just wanted to show it to you. This is smoked salt. You can get smoked paprika as well. I don't use this a lot, to be honest with you, but I do keep it around. Sometimes I'll use a pinch of it in something. It adds a little smokiness to it. But with all my barbecue, I'm throwing it on my Weber kettle. I'm smoking it anyway, so most of the time I just don't use those. But they are out there if you want to try them. We'll start with 1/4 of a cup of kosher salt. I'm going to use 1/8 of a cup of garlic, and then I'm going to use a teaspoon of black pepper. And I'll just give that a mix. Mix this up well. And this is going to be good on steaks. It's going to be good on everything. This next rub is a garlic pepper rub. So we're going to start out with 1/4 of a cup of kosher salt with it. We're going to do 1/8 of a cup of garlic. And on this one, we're going to up the pepper. We're going to do 1/8 of a cup of black pepper. And then to that, we're going to do a teaspoon of red pepper, cayenne pepper. So I just want to give this a good mix. This is really going to up the heat just a little bit. It's going to be a little bolder. And if you like the flavor of pepper, you're really going to like this one. It'll be really good on beef, on steaks. You can use it for a rub on chuck roast, brisket, short ribs, things of that nature. I think you're really going to like this one. And one thing I really like about it, if you notice, it starts taking on a little bit of a red tint with the cayenne pepper that you put in there. So this is your garlic pepper rub. Now the last one that I'm going to make, this is a good basic barbecue rub. I gift this to a lot of people and everybody seems to really like it. I love using this on pork and chicken. So you try it, and with any recipe that I ever put on here, you can change it around a little bit. You can add something. You can increase some of the amounts of the ingredients, or you can decrease them to suit you. But I'm using 1/4 of a cup of kosher salt, 1/4 of a cup of ground black pepper. And that's caked up on me just a little bit there. I'm using 1/4 of a cup of garlic. Using 1/4 of a cup of onion. Folks, I had to transfer this one to a quart jar. I don't know what I was thinking. I was making a bigger batch than what these little cups will hold. So the next step is to add 1/4 of a cup of paprika, and then 1/4 of a cup of chili powder. These are just some basic ingredients that you're going to find in most barbecue rubs. And then we'll use 1/8 of a cup of dry mustard. We'll use 1/8 of a cup of brown sugar. I'll use a teaspoon of red pepper and 1 teaspoon of cumin. The next step is just put a lid on your jar and mix it up really good. Make sure everything's mixed up good, and if there's any lumps or anything in there, they'll break up. And I want you to notice the color of that rub. That's beautiful, isn't it? And when you put that on pork, you put that on chicken, it's going to give your barbecue some nice color. And, you know, I don't know about you, I'm more interested in what it tastes like, but, you know, sometimes when we cook, when we barbecue, when we smoke ribs and smoke chicken and things like that, you kind of want it to look good. So this will really help with that effect as well. So those are 3 rubs that you can use for anything, beef, pork, chicken, and vegetables, and just about anything you want to throw on the smoker. I want to give you a couple tips. 1, make sure to use good quality and fresh ingredients. You don't want to pick up something out of the pantry that you've had in there for 10 years. It would work, but the flavor's just not going to be there like it is with fresh ingredients. Second thing, once you mix these up, they're going to last for months. But you want to store them in a dark place, in the cabinet somewhere where it's sort of cool and dry. If you'll do that, these will last for months, and you can take a jar full of this, and I tell you what it does, it makes a nice gift to somebody else that likes to grill and to barbecue, or just make it for yourself. So, but I hope this has helped. I appreciate you all. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and check out a few more of my other videos. I've got a whole library full that you might like. Subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. May God bless you and your family.